Welcome to Z-Spot News with Allison Eilers and Sports with Matthew Daniels and Caleb Wallace.
The halls of SMC are about as ready for Christmas as Santa himself. On December 15th, students took a liturgy day to prepare their halls for the first annual Christmas hallway decorating competition. The freshman and sophomore students both had windows at the end of their hallways, which gave them an advantage, and Mrs. Nelson and Mrs. Pagel both agreed that that was their favorite part.
I love the windows on the end. So I think the windows, the classes that had windows, I think that's the most beautiful thing I've seen.
We walked down the hallways, they all looked wonderful. I especially liked, I think it's the end of the freshman hallway where they put the red on the bottom and a kind of a mosaic on top.
And seniors were also very competitive. Troy Watlett started stringing Christmas lights the day before the competition even started, and the juniors all made an effort to cover every locker in their hallway. The freshman hallway was pretty classic: garland, shiny wrapping paper, doors, and lockers. What set them apart was their yard elf taped to the top of a set of lockers. They're going with the philosophy of going green and saving energy for the reason behind their absence of lights. The sophomore hallway was a step up with their wrapped and bow-tied lockers. Some even tried to get creative with the multiple variations of wrapping paper instead of just one. The sophomores had a small selection of lights, but unlike the junior and senior classes, they posted a 6-foot clearance sign as a warning to all passing through. Unfortunately, it lasted no more than a couple of days, but the thought was still there. Juniors had a back plan of not doing anything, but surprised many with multiple strings of lights and all kinds of festive decorations. Although their class holiday mascot, a deer weaved of wood named Tina, was taken down by a staff member, the hallway wasn't any less Christmassy. The juniors made a Christmas wish list, and a majority of all juniors wrote their own Christmas wishes. The seniors built up how big their hallway was going to be, but did it live up? The senior hallway's lights seemed to hang a little low, and the morning of, numerous people found them annoying when their lockers would slam the lights in between, breaking bulbs. Senior Troy Watlett put dedication beyond comparing to the senior hallway, and it shows. The hallway is scattered with other Christmas novelties, and some seniors even stayed after to finish covering lockers. The only backfall may be the 2 light-up yard deer who add as cute decorations, but to those with lockers behind them poses more of a nuisance.
And now, for Z-Spot Sports with Matthew Daniels and Caleb Wallace.
The men are looking good, but how about the women?
Well, the women have been the state tournament the last 2 years. The year before receiving the gold ball.
The year before that, they also won and got the silver ball.
Yeah, it's a good experience for them, and they returned some people from that team, which may help them in the tournament this year.
They're returning 5 seniors in Megan Miner, Nicole Peters, Kate Fuller, Jennifer Lodebauer, and Amanda Vegasol.
And the senior class is really working hard to get the underclassmen to get up to the level they need to compete.
They're really leading that team.
Yep.
Also on the team are juniors Lisa Kahn, Courtney Willems, Mel Anderson, Sammy Hawkins, and Presley Newman.
Well, more about the girls. They won their first game against Hilbert the same night that the boys won their first game. It was a real good game.
I was not there, but I heard many good things about it. I heard that the girls played hard the whole game. They never gave up, and they just kept on fighting.
That's good. That shows good heart.
It was a fun game to watch. Yeah.
The leading scorer for the girls was Megan Miner with 12 points. Lisa Kahn and Elena Schultz also added in 6, while freshman Haley Thielen had 7.
In the next game, they lost by 5 points to Manitowoc. But I also heard in that game they played very hard too.
Yeah, the girls played hard and fought their way through it, but they just couldn't pull it out at the end. Presley Newman scored 13, Elena Schultz scored 8, and Haley Thielen scored 6. Well, after the girls lost to Manitowoc Lutheran, they got back to practice, and they're working hard again to get to their goals that they need to be at.
All right, wrapping it up, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Matt.
And we're out of here.
Winter driving is something that takes a little getting used to. That's why it's no surprise that car accidents are the leading causes of death during winter storms. Even the SMC parking lot and Eden Menasha roads have had their fair share of mishaps. December 7th, Monday morning, the first big snowfall of the season, Emily Lowney couldn't stop at the Lake Street intersection in Neenah and ended up rear-ending a car in front of her. The taillight was broken and the corner scratched, but no one was injured. Emily's fear of driving certainly took a jump that morning. Tuesday morning, December 8th, Dylan Brockman was returning after his senior release and ended up drifting over the parking blocks in the back parking lot. He lost control and ended up straddling the cement blocks, but was fortunately able to drive off. After school on December 11th, Caleb Wallace took a turn by the tennis courts and ended up drifting into a snowbank. He was able to push the back end out with his hands and then turn the wheel all the way to the right, accelerating on the gas, kicking the snow up and freeing the front out. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation reminds all drivers this season of some helpful safety tips. Know the current road conditions beforehand. If you don't know, call 511 and look further ahead in traffic than normal. Avoid cruise control and cutting off vehicles quickly. Brake early and brake correctly. If you have anti-lock brakes, don't pump, stomp, and steer. And don't get overly confident in your 4x4 vehicles. Just because they can get moving faster doesn't mean they can stop any faster. Drive safe this season, SMC. SMC's Syntax Air Tech Team made it to the World Championships for this spring once again. The team competed in a tournament in Illinois on December 5th and they took home the Excellence Award, First Place Programming Skills Challenge, and the Tournament Championship. The tournament works with a series of 3 rounds. The qualifying rounds randomly match teams up to go through 2 rounds together against 2 other sets of teams. The best record decides the top 8 teams. In the instance of a tie, ranking points decide the top. Then, in the Alliance Partner Selection, the top 8 teams choose another partner to go through the rest of the competition with. Finally, the elimination rounds. Team 1 goes against Team 8, Team 2 against Team 7, and so on. Syntax Air was second out of 12 teams going into the qualifying rounds, and won both matches in the semifinals. They lost the first one in the finals, but came back and won the last 2, actually beating out the teams hosting the tournament. They'll be traveling to Dallas, Texas for the World Championships from April 22nd to 24th in 2010. But even before then, SMC will be hosting a tech tournament on March 6th, 2010.
Thank you for joining us in our first edition of Z-Spot News. Join us next week on ZTV.